Hello everyone, it's Dominic here from the British Esports Association. Thanks for joining us on another stream. This has been a technical challenge for us this week, something a bit different. We're using the game of the moment, Fall Guys, and we're joined by three very special guests, two teachers at different colleges around the UK, and also one of my colleagues at the British Esports Association, talking about our new Esports Btec qualification. Level 3 and level 2, I believe it is, which launched this Monday. So we're really excited to be, fostering education in esports, giving young people transferable skills and helping them, find career pathways in esports. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it because I know we're running a couple of minutes late. So if we move over now to all our panelists. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, Dom.
Hello.
No worries. Okay, so maybe if we just introduce ourselves. So quickly, I'll just say I'm head of content at the British Esports Association. Those of you that watch our streams will know me and know Elliot, who hosts streams as well. And then if we go around clockwise, so Gary, if you want to introduce yourself, and then Callum, and then James.
Yeah, and hi everyone. I'm Gary. I'm the education manager at British Esports Association, working closely with colleges and schools with the Btec qualification level 3, 2, and now 1.
Hi everyone, Callum Neal here, Barnsley College. I'm curriculum leader for sport and also course leader for our esports program, and I've had the pleasure of working alongside these guys on the call in writing the new Btec in esports as well. So exciting times.
Hello everyone, my name is James Spragueza-Murison. I'm the Director of Learning for the Creative Arts, and I've also, along with these other wonderful people, helped put the first ever Btec esports together, which is what we've been launching this week.
Excellent. Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us again, guys. And for people watching in the chat, if you want to ask questions, we'll make a note of those and do our best to answer them at the end or throughout the stream, depending on how busy it is and how we can get on. We've had one question from the FG Treehouse. Would that certificate go through a college kind of path or at a university level? It's college, yeah, at the moment. There are university degrees out there, but we can cover that off another time. So just a quick overview of what this stream's about. We're going to be talking about the Btec and esports qualifications and what James and Callum are doing with their students. And I should say this qualification has been developed in conjunction with Pearson as well, a leading education supplier. But we're doing it over a game of Fall Guys. Now, due to technical limitations, we played this on a PS4 and we couldn't. It was very difficult to be able to stream that out from 4 PS4s and talk to you with webcams on a PC as well. So we played this the other night. So we know what's happening, but we'll still being able to view it with 4 screens, like sort of split screen style, I think is going to be pretty fun, and we'll aim to chat about the Btec as we're going. So is there anything any of you on the panel would like to add before we jump into the gameplay?
Only that at some point in the first 5-10 minutes, you'll see that it looks like Gary wins maybe something of significance later on, but actually, due to
it was me.
Error. No, technical error. It was actually just sort of a player profile incident. So it was actually, spoilers, but it wasn't Gary. It was me.
You're not supposed to spoil anything, James. We haven't watched the gameplay yet. We don't know
The
who's
technical
won.
error was letting Callum play with us.
I haven't told him about the other 8 rounds.
Just blank my screen from Fall Guys. We'll just call it one big technical error.
No problem. No problem. Yeah. Okay. So let's go over to the gameplay now. Then, Elliot, our trusted esports producer, and Morgan, our video maestro, has helped make this. So thanks to them as well. So you can see there we've got the 4 screens. Myself at the top right, Gary at the bottom right, Callum at the bottom left, James at the top left, and yeah, I don't think we've got audio. I think we've got one set of audio, have we? Yeah, so we've got one set of audio. My stream stopped, so I'm trying to get that back up. Hang on. There we go. Okay, right. We're just setting up parts of the stream here, so you can see the action. Oh, for some reason, I don't know what's happened here. My stream's disappeared.
I think Dom's stream's disappeared. So we'll just talk about the Btec guys, whilst you kind of get started. So how are you? So this week you started right from Monday. I think you both started teaching. How are you finding it so far with the new qualification, new students? What's it like?
To be honest, for me, Gary, it's an absolute breath of fresh air. With in terms of the students that traditionally we've had that come to us at college who have an interest in games and in esports, they've not really had the opportunity to study this kind of pathway. When people look at the makeup of the qualification, it's a real blend between, esports itself and the media and video production, shoutcasting elements and to that. But then you've also got the skills, the strategies, analysis, coaching. You've got enterprise and entrepreneurship in there as well. So you've got a real blend of some sort of media backgrounds, business backgrounds, and sport backgrounds. And even already on day one, the students were just totally enthralled in what they were studying and passionate about it, passionate about the subject. So I think it's going to be an exciting year.
And which units have you done so far, Callum?
We've started first of all with introduction to the esports industry. We sort of did that in the morning session on day one, and then we've moved into esports skills, strategies, analysis, where they've then actually been in the esports arena and they've been on the PCs and they've been starting to get to grips with that. And again, feedback just from that experience was, these computers are ace, like an experience like they can't get at home. So it's sort of that perfect blend between something that they love but also they're studying at the same time as well.
Nice. And yourself, James?
A similar experience to Callum, really. This is obviously our first week doing this. We've managed to help put together a subject that is engaging, contemporary, and obviously educational in super quick time. That is absolutely riding the crest of the wave for all these students who are finally getting recognition and some guidance on a really fascinating and ever-increasing industry, obviously. And for them to be able to do this and to be engaged in this straight from the off, I think is just showing how successful this unit and course will be. So it's really good start to the week.
Can I just say, Callum, for those watching, he's actually spectating at this point. So those left is me, James, and Gary.
Right,
we should have put a red X there, but you can tell if someone's got knocked out because there is no longer a little arrow above their full guy's
I
head.
can't believe you just did it like that.
Thanks for pointing that out, Dom. I appreciate that.
Wow.
We just got to make it clear who's in and who's out.
If anybody wants to spectate, just watch my screen for the next 30 minutes.
I thought you were interrupting for some sort of technical issue. But it's an absolute dig on Callum early doors.
Dig him a grave.
Yeah, wowzers. Yeah. No, keep doing that.
To be fair, this is probably, I think when I got to this point, this is the furthest I've ever got in Fall Guys because I'm a complete noob. I think this is round 3, isn't it, so far?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, it is round 3, yeah.
Yeah, and this is, we've got to keep the tail. So, this is difficult, this one, because you've got to grab a towel from someone and then you've got to keep it when the timer expires. And if someone else grabs your towel and the timer expires, then you're out, basically.
Yeah. So if you guys, Fall Guys as a game, it's huge now. It's one of the biggest ones on Twitch. I think maybe it's surpassed League of Legends at some point. It might just be falling back behind now. But is it something you guys are going to be using with the Btec, with the college's kind of engagement with students? Anything else as well? Because it was your idea, James, to do this in the first place, to really kind of just to sit down, have a talk about the game itself, play it, and really have a laugh. And we did that last night. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, the idea for this came about from bizarrely having my first ever team meeting with some of my colleagues last week, I think it was, where everyone, because we've all got a sort of English and media background, so everyone was aware of the contemporary nature of this game, and more importantly, it's just fun. And I think what 2020 needed more than anything was this, bizarrely. So we ended up having a team meeting where we were talking about the new syllabuses and units, and we did it over Fall Guys, and we actually got quite some way into the meeting. It was quite useful, but more importantly, we finished and everyone was just on a high, and it was buzz and it was exciting. And you look at the publishing and the case study and the PR behind this account for this game, this in itself lends itself perfectly to some of the units that are coming up within the Btec as well. And it's just making sure that the students who know about it understand the purpose for it, and also why the esports qualification lends itself so well to something like business, sport and media, as we've already mentioned. So it made sense to kind of try and put us all together for what you're seeing today.
Yeah, because the Btec itself, it doesn't specify what games. So there's a streaming module, video production, shoutcast and Cogent, but it doesn't specify what games you can do that in. So it's going to be really interesting seeing what colleges as well as yourselves choose to do for this as well, and push really not only the championships out there as well, but the Btec as well.
Yeah, the first thing that we've done this week in relation to that with the students when they're in is gather that interest. You know, what games do they play? What games would they sort of describe as their specialisms? But and also, what else do they want to try? You know, what have they never had the opportunity to try before? And then we're going to try obviously our best to meet those needs to allow students to have that experience. And the one thing that I'll say again about that is, and that we say to students, is to come into this with an open mind, and they'll all have their preferred game and the preferred esport, the one that they specialise in, which clearly they want to upskill in. But secondly as well, if you want to really be able to fully understand the industry, you've got to have a go at new things, which is exactly what I'm doing on this stream in terms of Fall Guys. And I used this example yesterday with my students, and I said, you know, the one thing that I love about gaming and about esports is exactly like this. You can have 4 people in different areas of the country who actually can all just come together, have a chat, have a little bit of fun, and without the game itself, that wouldn't exist. You know, so then we think about teamwork and communication and strategic thinking, which is more what you 3 were doing while I was watching. But
on the football one as well, Colin, we needed you on this. Well, we didn't, we wouldn't, but it would have been nice to have you there as well.
I was just coaching in the background.
Can I just say to XX Aussie Lee X in the chat really quickly, he's asking a lot of general questions about British Esports Championships. I think Morgan is managing the British Esports Twitch name, and she'll do her best to answer your questions. But for this one, we're mainly talking on the Btec. So if you have other questions on that, feel free to DM us on Twitter and things like that. It says here, Ollie Barr said, so Callum teaches esports but got kicked out round 1 in Fall Guys.
Oh, round 1, pretty much every round, yeah. Round 1, round 2, if I'm lucky. So yeah,
consistent, weren't you?
Oh, we're consistent, yeah. So
yeah,
for me, it's you know this is about having fun and enjoying it. And again, the key thing here at the college, we have an esports coach as well, which is not me. It's about teaching to your specialisms and coaching to your specialisms, and that's exactly what we do. So, again, the program allows you to do that, which is great.
And also, losing is a part of esports, right? So you are teaching your students.
Exactly.
Well, you say that, but when I was at Sunderland as the Seers, our Overwatch team, we didn't lose a game, so it's not always true, Callum, but I'm just trying to be nice here.
No, well, I mean, even the best teams in the world, even the bakers out there have had to deal with difficult losses eventually. You know, maybe the Sunderland Seers was an exception, Gary.
Yeah, definitely.
I think what's important to take into account though is that it's up to us as colleagues and as a support group for Callum to maybe just do this again next week and just kind of consistently build upon this to watch him progress and develop, because this could be a 2-year course. So
this is where I can provide an opportunity for one of my students to come and play on my behalf.
Right, so this is the last round here, right, guys? The 3 of us are still in. I don't know how I'm still in at this point, and we've got the hexagon challenge here. So I think there was how many people left at this point? I think there's about 7 people left. 6. And there's 3 of us. Sorry, it says in the top right. Yeah, there's 6 left. So we'll see how we do here. Crim Wow has said made an interesting comment in the chat. What conditioner does Gary use? I could use a good one myself. And the GF Treehouse has said, yeah, Gary has peak hair.
No, no conditioner at all. It's all natural.
Okay, cool. What's it been like, the interest then, James and Callum? What's the interest been like from your students for this? Because we've had some teachers coming to us saying they've had a lot of interest for this course and they've had to put in place new practices to make sure they can get the course up and running.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're quite lucky in the sense that obviously Callum and I were aware that this was coming, so we'll be honest, we were able to put a little bit of things in place in advance of that. But the way that we've got this to work is we've had to be very open and honest in terms of the direction of travel with the principal and the IT manager about what we want and why we think it's relevant and important for our students of today. And obviously, more importantly, it's about picking the right units to be able to, in 2 years' time, send the students away into an esports profession, if that's what they want, an esports degree, as we briefly mentioned, or something within the business or the sport or the media world on top of that as well. And the dialogue that I've had to have with parents on top of that, I think it's been really useful to be able to say, this isn't a whim, this isn't going away anytime soon, in the nicest possible way. Just because you guys don't necessarily know about it doesn't mean that it's something to be dismissed. And I think when you look at the Btec and you look at, as I say, what's been put in place for the units, all of that stuff kind of has that in place as a foundation. So that's been really key, and I think that's been really helpful to be able to scaffold it up.
Oh, James, you've just been eliminated.
That wasn't me.
Still you as well, yeah.
Now I've been eliminated. There we go. Sorry, I was watching on the stream. I shouldn't be watching on the stream. I should be watching on my screen.
It's all good. And just on James's note there quickly, just to jump in, is as myself, James, and Callum, we all sat around at Stoke Park, I think December last year, and kind of thought about what this qualification needed, what it wanted, and where we needed to put this thing as well. So it's kind of taken what we knew from the champs and bringing it to kind of obviously the qualification side of it as well, but also what the kind of SLT, so the senior leadership team needs as well, and what they want to see, really give us kind of step up there as well.
But then I think what you've got here is a mixture of, in essence, the unit itself, because I've got a media background, Callum's got a sports background, Gary's obviously got an esports background, all of those. That's why I'm talking over him now. So what you've got is that example here live, but was in Stoke Park when we all met, and that's why you've got such a kind of full-bodied, rich kind of selection of units for the Btec course, and that's why it works.
Yeah, I think from our point of view, in terms of interest, it's totally breaking down any sort of. Go on, Gary.
I know, right? Not too bad.
Right, Gary.
First game of the night.
Get it. It's totally breaking down all the barriers that we've ever seen in education from a traditional education standpoint. But, we've got students that are making 3-hour round trips to come and get to the college. Today I've had a 26-year-old enroll onto the level 3 who's having a change of career and is now coming on to do a 2-year level 3 course. He's taken out an advanced learner loan to be able to study the course, and because he's got ambitions to go to university. And it's sort of I see it as quite a cultural movement in the fact that we've now got an opportunity for people to be able to study something that they're totally passionate about. And the one thing that I find about the students is, from day one, even though they've never met each other, they come in and some students are nervous and they're a little bit shy. they've all got this one amazing thing in common, is that they play games and they love games. And they're probably one of the most connected groups of students that I've ever worked in my life. And, you know, straight away, they're adding each other on PlayStation Network and on Xbox and on Discord. And already we've got students that are now playing together. They've spent one day at college with each other and they're becoming friends overnight. So it really is fantastic. And like I said, I think it's providing opportunities for people to do something where there's never been that opportunity before.
Yeah, and you were saying as well, James, weren't you, last night? Like you had people changing courses midway through what they thought they wanted to do as a career as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been a nice eye opener for me, really, and it's already sort of teaching me things as we've gone through the first week. But in my classes, we've got a mixture of traditional sort of creative arts students, but we've also got a vast variety of STEM students, and that's because of not only the interest but also what you can do beyond the 2 years at college and way that the industry is growing from that. And again, I think that's really nice to be able to offer such an exciting but diverse course that in many other aspects of college that this doesn't exist. I mean, we all want that, obviously, but you've really found something here that's pretty unique, pretty special, and obviously very, very popular. We've got, I think, currently 63 students signed up for an enrichment on top of that to be able to use their knowledge and passion for the British Esports Association Championships that will be starting soon as well. And so again, you're seeing more students than ever before from different subjects in college where they wouldn't normally meet or kind of have a chat. Just all bond over this wonderful sort of passion and subject, and it's great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't believe, Gary, you got knocked out this early. I thought...
Well, what happened was I felt sorry for Cal last time, so he wasn't going to get through if I went through, so I had to give him a chance. Yeah, take on the team for the Btec team is my excuse. But yeah.
I remember this one. I saw success. I saw my name in the headlines right near the end. Right near the end, I thought, yes, I'm through. I'm through round 2, and it all went wrong. It all went wrong. I thought I had it sussed, this one.
I know we've been talking about the Btec chaps, but it's...
There he goes.
There he goes.
Literally last second as well.
In such a shocking way as well.
Unlucky. I know we've been talking about the Btec, but, we've got our British Esports Championships coming up. The sign-ups are open. I think they close on September 25th, and it gets underway in October. And we have tournaments in Overwatch, League of Legends, Rocket League. Both your colleges take part in that, right?
Yeah, Callum, do you want to start, buddy?
Yeah. We took part in the champs last year. Last year we had the Overwatch team in there, and we had Rocket League teams. We didn't manage to get the interest for a League of Legends team to start with, but we have this year. So moving into the champs this year, again, we'll be entering League of Legends teams, Overwatch teams, and Rocket League teams. And also, what was great as well throughout lockdown was we took part in the FIFA Championships as well that you guys did in partnership with the AOC, and that were a real key movement for us as well. In that, we then started to get our footballers, our sports performers, who didn't really understand much about what esports was and what the course was that we were delivering, and didn't really understand what we were going off in the esports room, and then all of a sudden they became part of that and became part of the esports academy and represented the college, and I think in a strange way, the whole coronavirus pandemic and lockdown, as esports hasn't stopped. People haven't stopped playing games, and if anything, from my point of view, from a sports background, we've seen the two come closer together in that, we've had Formula 1 drivers, we've had golfers, we've had basketballers and football players taking part in esports and games, and what I'm really starting to see now in our department with lots of sports students and esports students together is them starting to come together and really start to sort of become part of that wider academy and which we associate with all of those team principles and team values, which is great.
Sure. Has it been similar for you, James? Has it been exciting to be a part of a digital tournament?
Yeah, it really has. But of course, it goes without saying that this is a tough time for everyone. But if there's been something positive to come out of it in terms of what we're offering and what we're doing, it's brought a wider awareness to all things esports where you had BBC were reporting on the League of Legends competitions, obviously nationally, and there's been awareness with professional footballers have been helping out in the FIFA tournament. So again, it's been raising this awareness. And I think if you're a teenager who's sort of heavily into esports, it must be quite nice and quite a relief to be sort of almost vindicated that this is slowly growing to again a more sort of wider kind of viewership, if you will, and that people can start to see the purpose of it and the fact that there is potential to get some qualification and some career from this, once you've done the Btec, say, as an example. So it's only ever growing, as Callum's right. It's exponentially exploded during the pandemic. The industry's worth, I don't know, 1.2 billion or something. Even that's probably out of date already because of the likes of Fall Guys and things like that as well. So again, to be a part of it and to have the kids constantly engaged and excited, it's just a great time to be a teacher at the moment. That's not something we can always say.
Definitely. And I think the course as well, it's got those transferable skills, because although the esports industry is $1 billion industry, the wider games industry is a multi-billion dollar industry. And a lot of these skills can pave the way for, someone to become a social media manager at a leading games publisher or a developer, or that, it might get them interested in coding and development. And the games industry has so many jobs within it, separate to esports, and there are so many, like the whole digital sphere as well. The tech industry is absolutely huge. There's a lot of crossover there, and that's what I like about this course, is the transferable skills it offers. And also, talking about the championships, I think it's great that colleges have an opportunity to do more than one thing. You can do the Btec, you can enter a team in the championships or other tournaments. You could just set up a simple esports society to start with, and have weekly or fortnightly meetings, or have some matches, internal matches. There's so much now for colleges and educational institutions to get involved in, I think.
Yeah, I think that the transferable skills element to that, because the programme is so diverse and includes the competition element of the championships, if you think about the transferable skills that are gained from esports, that's making this generation of young people incredibly attractive to employers. And we've already mentioned a few already, but we've got young people now who are totally tech savvy, understand how to use IT systems, are able to do things very quickly, have quick reaction times, have quick sort of cyber dexterity and comprehension skills. And, we're seeing people now recognize these skills. And I mean, we've got links through our public services department with the military, and they recognize esports straight away. They're recruiting gamers into the military. And local employers are starting to recognize that actually we've got a generation of young people now here who are sort of ready for work, and they're practicing these skills without even realizing it, just because we're having fun. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's the beauty of it being so diverse, is that not all students that study these qualifications might not want to go to university to study esports. They can go to university to study other subjects, lots of other subjects, because the qualification holds UCAS points that are transferable into different areas, but also into employment as well.
Yeah, 100%. So here, my game crashed here. I don't know what happened. A bug. There have been some bugs in Fall Guys. It is still quite a new game. But James, here, you're into the final 5, I think it is here.
Yeah, I mean, you can fast forward this bit, to be honest. I mean, it's just me getting it down. It's just me winning. It's embarrassing, if anything, so you don't need to worry about it. I mean, it's happened so many times. It looks like...
that was the truth.
I mean, it might not look like to some viewers. They've probably got a broadband issue there.
My game kept crashing as well, Dom.
Yeah, that's what it is. Lag, isn't it?
It's never got started.
Oh, yeah, all the excuses. Well, that's saying not as well, Colin. The social aspect of esports, well, like you mentioned, the army and navy as well. They have their own esports teams who play worldwide as well as nationally as well. So it's not just kind of like the competition side, but it's the social aspect of what all these teams are doing as well, through every aspect of life, from primary all the way to college, afterwards as well, which is great to see.
Yeah, I mean, we've been really fortunate, just because of where I'm situated in Basingstoke, where I've got Hewlett-Packard, so HP, Lenovo, and also the central headquarters of the Belong Arenas through Game. And we didn't have to do too much advertising to use them as part of industry links as well. Now, I know that we are incredibly fortunate to have that, and that's geographical luck. But the fact that we've managed to partner up with them and they've come to us is because they recognise that we're preparing students for jobs that have only just started existing, or may not even exist in 3 or 4 years' time yet, because they're sort of slowly being built up. And so the industry, a wider industry that people are familiar with, understand that the skills these students are learning and gaining. Don't talk about that.
What happened there, James?
All you have to do is jump.
I thought you were going to... Oh, James.
This is why...
You only got to jump, that's it. You can just stand still and jump.
The guy who's lagging on your screen, Dom, that's the guy who just won as well.
Oh, no.
This is why I wanted to talk about the partnerships bit, because I knew what was coming.
But the final two, that's still impressive, James, because we're, some would call us boomers as it is. I dispute that. I'm not a boomer. My dad's a boomer, but, for us to win games like this should impress.
You say it was, but we haven't seen the final yet, Tom. I mean, it's only been me and James if we're pulling them strings.
Yeah, well, no, I was on the hexagon one, wasn't I? I got to the final that first round.
To be honest, my shoulders are still hurting from carrying you all. So, there's that, isn't there? I mean, that's tricky.
It were a character building session for me. This about developing resilience. I think that's another key skill that esports provides us.
Absolutely. I mean, I still play a lot of League of Legends solo queue. I play it after work. I play it some lunch times, and it's a good tool for making you accept things that you have less control over. I had a game that
Cal's screen. I'm so sorry, Danny. You're just running the wrong way around there.
Oh no, I don't think I did very well on this one. I've got in my ear the producer talking about costume choices for Fall Guys here, so I've got an excuse for this. Whatever my character looks like, that's what my 3-year-old wanted. So
you know what? I wondered why you were changing your character so much before we went into games.
Did I change it twice? Did I?
3 times, because you didn't come in like that. That wasn't what you started off as.
Yeah, no, I think I had like the one with the heart pants, pink. I don't know why my 3-year-old wanted that.
It's weird, is it? Because we know you really well. We know you haven't got children, so
just making excuses up.
Yeah. Is he talking about his heart pants again? We're talking about talking about Fall Guys here, Dom.
Yeah. Every stream, this guy.
No, I unfortunately do have children. Yeah, I don't get to sleep as long as I used to, unfortunately. But that's how it is. Yeah, Sacco Taco is very good hair. Oh, Dodgy Daniel's in the chat. Hi, Daniel. Yeah, no, I wanted to wear a cap because my hair's getting too long at the moment. So my IRL costume, I had to wear a British Esports cap. And of course, we have the merch available on our website. So do go check it out because there's a lot of cool stuff on there. What about your other costumes then?
So I'm rocking the ninja one. I've got the ninja at the top on. But I'm just chasing James around the whole map, trying to pull him into. And he opens. He didn't realise last night, but I'm watching myself do it here. I was trying to grab him and kind of throw him off his game, but I couldn't really catch him in his monkey outfit.
Well, much like real life, isn't it? Constantly chasing. But now's not the time for that chat. Well, I think I try and get my revenge later on.
You do
totally
actually, yeah.
cock it up entirely. I managed to push you off something, throw myself down, and then I just can't qualify after that.
But you were also saying last night that you wasted your crowns buying the monkey outfit as well. So
they lured me into that trap. I mean, who doesn't want a monkey costume? So I spent 2 crowns on that, and to be honest, I think it's worth it. I think it looks great.
I would ask what Callum's costume is, but as everyone can see in the stream, he is.
I've not even seen me in this at all. So.
As if he'd know.
10 points for anyone who can remember what my costume is.
It's the pink dog. That's exactly what it is, but we never get to see it.
That's it. 10 points, Gary. Well done.
Yeah.
To taking part, Callum.
That's it. Well, that's exactly it. That's exactly it.
Tell us a bit about the course structure for the Btec as well, chaps, because is this going on for the whole year?
So I think we're delivering slightly different models, aren't we, James, as well? So for us, it's a full-time model. We run the equivalency of 3 A-levels. So they do year 1 is year 1 of 2, and it's the extended diploma that they run. So it's a total of 7 units in year 1 before they then progress onto year 2 of the program. In terms of how we structure the course and structuring the qualification as such, to try and logically let that make sense, introduction to the esports industry first, where they're looking at genres of games and the esports ecosystem before they then move into the other units. So we sort of follow a trimesterized model where we deliver sort of in 3 blocks along the 3 terms, so that after the first term they've already completed some of the qualification and some of the units. So that's the sort of model that we follow. With that as well, we've got that mix of online and blended learning in there as well, where students are accessing the building, but also they're able to study online as well and complete online units, which again, in terms of the industry, and we've got students who know how to use this technology, it makes that transition a little bit easier as well. So if there are centres out there who are considering this and looking at the model that you're delivering, definitely incorporating an element of online and blended learning works within this qualification.
So our approach is going to be slightly different for the first year. We've got the single A-level equivalent. So we're doing units 1 and 2 in year 1, introduction to esports skills and analysis. And then we're doing units 3 and 4 in year 2, which is enterprise and entrepreneurship and health and well-being. Yeah. So we're looking to, in the 2 years, obviously, but we're also going to put work experience opportunities again with the local partners that we're lucky to do. We can have regular Pilates and yoga sessions on top of that. And we're also going to be using the current students to also put their own internal events on top of that within the 2 years as well. So they're building up towards something at the end of each academic year. And then if all goes to plan, next year we'll be running the full qualification as Callum's doing now. And the teaching team will have media teachers on it, but also a combination of business and sports teachers. And we'll give them the very specific units on that as well to be able to focus on them in their entirety, really.
That's great that you've got Pilates and yoga in that, because do you know what? I a few years ago had a bad back, so I was sitting down a lot, and obviously for esports players and people working in esports, they are largely desk jobs. And I think that's really important, because I do a bit of Pilates and a bit of yoga, and it's helped me massively, both with my well-being and taking care of my back as well. So that's great to see that you're addressing that.
It's part of taking the course seriously, because if you look at the professional leagues and the gamers in terms of how they sort of structure their routines and in nutritionists and sort of the physical exercise they put aside, it's about taking this stuff seriously, and it's not just about gaming. Far from it. The course itself is not just about gaming. And so, as I say, when you look at the units, whether it's the single VOC I'm doing or the full qual that Callum's doing, you'll see that unit 4 is about mental health and well-being. And there's a reason why it's a mandatory unit, and it's to tackle these things head on, and it's to raise awareness of this. And I think that's why when we all met together in December, seems like a lifetime ago now, there was a real sort of emphasis on making this an important unit and mandatory, as I say. So I think it's really good.
You'll have to let us know what the response is to that as well, James, to see how the students react, because I've recommended those exercises to a few people, and it's helped them quite a lot.
Yeah, we're not everyone necessarily wants to do it, but they've got to kind of want to tackle these things head on, and even if it's for 1 hour out of the 5 hours a week, for a month or so, 2 months in a row, that's great. We've got people who are willing to kind of give up their time to help the students with this. And as I say, I think it's really important. I think it's really important to focus on what Gary's doing for this level. He was an absolute machine at this level.
Run around in the circle and jump through the hoops that come to you. Is my tactic. It might not be the right one, though.
It worked.
On the element of physical activity as well, like I said, my background being in sport, there's an awful lot of research and links between the two, and esports being part of a balanced lifestyle, whether that's right at the very elite level and professional level, you know, and like you said, we know that professional esports players have personal trainers, they have dietitians, you know, and they have training regimes built in, physical training as well as the gameplay, but also at grassroots level, making sure that we challenge the stereotypes that are associated with gamers and esports. And, you know, we're not all just sat up in our bedroom drinking caffeinated drinks and eating chocolate bars while we're playing 8 hours a day. And it's about actually, for those that do, you know, for the students that do come to us and that is their lifestyle, getting them to try and understand that having this balance can also increase gaming skills. And, you know, we do tests with students right in the first week to try and prove this theory, and we sort of get them into we do progressive muscle relaxation to try and simulate sort of a really relaxed state and almost a sleep-like state, and then we get them to play and record the results, and then straight after that we take them down into the gym and we do a small 10-minute exercise circuit, get the heart rate going, release the endorphins, and come back upstairs. And every time we've ever done this, the results the second time round are better. They perform better in game because they're more alert, they're more awake, they can concentrate for longer, they can focus, their reaction times are better. So there's an awful lot of research out there as well to link the two, and I think that's where the qualification really starts to address these issues as well, which from my point of view and looking at a health background, that's really important to see as well.
This tactic from Gary, I've got to talk about it. It's quite sneaky, Gary, isn't it? Fall through to the lowest floor and then just go around in a circle and watch people fall to their doom.
I've won multiple times doing this, and because I won the first time jumping on them, I want to see.
Me too, Gary. Me too.
Yeah, but I think a few people fell down, or just not enough people fell down too quick. I had my own little spot here, but I think there was too much space up top, and it didn't work out. I think I eliminated a few people, so my sneakiness worked a little bit, but I couldn't get it all the way, which was a little bit annoying.
I think it's great that Callum sort of practices what he preaches. Yeah, and throughout this session, he was in that seduced sleep state that he's just mentioned, and I think that's really important. I think that's really good.
I think at one point on one of the levels, I just got pushed off the edge of the map. I didn't even know we'd started. We've started. Oh no, I'm out. Oh well.
Ah, so close, Gary.
I know.
Okay, so I think we're on to the last game now. Coming up. Where did you get to there, Gary? Last?
I don't know, maybe third, fourth. Yeah, third, fourth.
Nice.
But you don't get crowned for fourth, so it doesn't matter. Let's not talk about it.
We had Ozzy in the chat asking.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Just reading in the chat, gents, there, people, you know, talking about the caffeinated drinks and G Fuel and things like that. The nutrition element to the course, really interesting, and, you know, being able to get students to a position where they understand the ingredients that's in there and the amounts that's in there, and taking things in the correct amounts, and, you know, taking in the right amount. Yes, they will help people perform better over prolonged periods of time. And you know, can you pick up a can of Monster that lots of my students drink, and do they know what's in it? And that's part of the nutrition element as well, is starting to understand what it is that we're consuming.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes left, so there's a chance for you to ask last minute questions. I've got a few questions here which I'm going to go through now. The FG Treehouse has said, I was wondering what advice you would give to build a profile to enter the industry. Does the course cover that, like building a, you know, social media, building a presence, and that's a marketing aspect, isn't it?
It's about building a brand as well. We've discussed that we've got as a unit as well, and one of the things we'll do within the Btec is to build that brand as well, and that's where you can tie off you can take almost like a portfolio with you by the end of the 2 years. So you've got shoutcasting opportunities, you've got film editing opportunities, you've got gaming opportunities, obviously, and coaching and all of that. So in answer to that name that I've forgotten, apologies. That's one of the things that we'll be pushing our end as well, because that's important that they go off as well-rounded individuals who've got expertise.
Because on the back of that as well is you've got business applications for social media and esports. You've got ethical current issues. You've got psychology, but then you've got the law aspect as well for esports. We work with Sheridan's to do that as well. So it covers all the business aspects, from kind of making your own brand, company, organisation, into how you would then progress it further from maybe a college team to an amateur, semi-pro, and even further on.
Yeah, definitely. The same person, the FG Treehouse, has asked as well. Another thing, do you think that the qualification could be acquired while in a full-time university course, undergraduate, as in if it's doable coursework-wise? It's not, is it? It's only available for college students, right?
It is correct. Yeah, yeah. So it's a level 3 qualification. Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, but in theory, could someone do that while they were at uni? That wouldn't work, would it?
No, because to be at uni, you would already have a level 3. I mean, you could pay for multiple level 3s, but it's a taught course at a college, so you'd have to be in there 2.5 days a week, I think it is, or it was normally. But it's not something you do actually do in a university course. No. It's something that gets you to university or into a position as a job.
Yeah, I just think, just to add to that as well, and the other slant on that is, obviously there are universities out there already that are delivering esports degrees as well. So, you know, if that is a query regarding, you know, are there options at university as well? You know, if that's somebody who hasn't started university yet, then I think definitely look at those options too, because there are a number of universities that are already delivering esports degrees too.
Yeah, definitely. This isn't a question so much about the Btec, but I'm going to ask it. Aussie Lee has said, who's your favourite team player? Is there like a certain team that your students follow, or do you tend to all be very different? And, you know, is there a game that you follow together or that your students like to follow?
Quite an eclectic mix, talking to the students in the first week, and you've got a whole kind of variety of teams from the kind of you look at. I mean, obviously there's another press release from Guild today with what Beckham's up to with the stock market, etc. So you've got one or two who are starting to follow them because of the star vehicles of Beckham or whatever. So that'd be quite interesting to see that popularity as a brand. But then obviously look at the tournaments that have just finished, and you look at where someone like XL got, you know, in a relatively new team in the grand scheme of things, and what they're trying to do. So that's been quite exciting to watch. But you've also got various students who are just sort of wedded to Dr. Disrespect, say, just because of what he's up to and sort of hilarity of all that. So you've got this really nice mixture of streamers and kind of leagues within that and teams. And again, it's creating conversations that you wouldn't always have in other subjects. So yeah, everyone's into everything at the moment. It's quite nice.
Yeah, definitely. We've got Dits in the chat who said started teaching the Btec this week. So it'd be good. Do you talk much to other teachers? You know, there's obviously you two, and there's sort of a bit of a network forming now, right, with Pearson and ourselves at British Esports, where you can sort of exchange info and things that have worked for you. Is there a sort of good network, do you feel like, that's building?
Yeah, I do from my point of view, and you know, being on the Pearson training courses that they've delivered, and that, you know, Gary and Tom Dorr have been involved in delivering as well, starting to network across the UK and meeting other teachers and colleges. Everyone that I speak to just wants to grow esports. You know, they just want to grow the esports industry. They want to develop the esports industry, and from my point of view, you know, if there are other teachers out there and colleges that want to share best practice and come and have a look at what we're doing and vice versa, then you know, we're more than happy to support with that and equally learn from what other people are doing. And that's what I've found with it, is that everyone's just trying to share it and actually grow it for all the right reasons.
Yeah.
Same this end, to be honest. I mean, we're sort of in the south of England, so we'll happily kind of meet and kind of have a chat about how we've grown and gone on our journey. But if there's, as and when there's been things that I've been stuck with, Gary, Tom, Callum, etc., we all want the same thing. We all want to grow this. We want to watch this kind of expand and be as good as we know it can be. So everyone's willing to help. If there's other teachers out there, you're welcome to find us on things like LinkedIn and Twitter. And if we don't know the answer, we're always lucky to have someone who does. So it's working really well in that respect, I think.
Great stuff. And is there anything else you guys would like to add? We're coming towards the end of the hour now. So anything I might have missed, or you'd like to give any shout outs or anything like that?
Shout out to me for my efforts. Yeah, if there's anybody out there who's got any coaching tips for Fall Guys, please get in touch so that I can start to compete with these three.
I mean, I think at the end of this session, it's important when, again, you look at 3 or 4 minutes in, when we were sort of told about Callum and what went wrong, And for me, I'm just going to keep rewatching that, to be honest, and feel slightly better about it. And we'll look forward to the next CPD session, to be honest, where obviously more the merrier to kind of watch what we do and how we get on.
No problem.
So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed obviously our time doing this. Thank you to everyone who's managed to make this thing work, and obviously to the 3 others who helped compete the other night to kind of get it off the ground. Really enjoyed the whole
we should
thing.
do it live next time as well. I think it'll
After
be
9 o'clock.
quite engaging. Yeah. Well, true actually. Yeah, I forgot you guys teach now as well.
Yeah. Peggy 18.
Yeah.
No worries. All right. Well, thanks very much, everyone, for joining us. I think I'm just going to do a little outro now. Apologies to the chat. I lost my my work laptop, wasn't plugged in, and it's just run out of juice, so I can't see the chat at the moment. But I'll do a quick rundown of what we've got coming up this Friday. Don't miss our stream at 4 p.m. Our Fun Friday stream with Elliot. We've got a big giveaway happening, so be there if you want to have the chance to win some really good prizes. There's a mix of prizes. I think there's headsets, British Esports merch, and a nice selection of goodies we've got there. So this Friday at 4 p.m. and then next week we've got 2 streams as well. On Wednesday at 4 p.m. we've got our latest Women in Esports interview with Veracity, who's a top esports tournament admin, and I know that she's been working in the UK scene and beyond for a few years now, and I think that'll be a great chat. If you're interested in tournament admin and that area, that'll be a great stream to check out. And then next Friday we've got our Sacco's Tacos latest cookery stream, just a silly thing. We did about a month or 2 ago, we did a stream with myself and Sue Collins, a fellow League of Legends journalist, where I showed Sue how to make flapjacks, and then she showed me how to make a pizza, and I wasn't very good at making the pizza, so it was a fun laugh, and it's a way to learn how to make gaming snacks, and it was quite healthy. It was a dairy-free option. Next Friday, with Mexican food is the name of the game, hence the name Sacco's Tacos. So that's next Friday at 4 p.m. So that's our next 3 streams. Thanks very much for watching this, everyone. If you're interested in the Esports Btec qualification, go on our website, click the education button at the top, or you can go on Pearson's website, just Google Esports Btec, and you'll see all the information there. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. I'll see you next time. Sacco signing out for now.